Hello students, I am Deepthi Santosh from St. Thomas College, Bhilai, faculty from Education Department. Today I am going to deal with B.Ed Second Sem Paper 4, Sociological Perspectives of Education, and in that I am going to talk about National Curriculum Framework, Teacher Education 2009. National Curriculum Framework, Teacher Education 2009, which is also called as NCFTE 2009. You know, framing of NCFT was a need of the hour, as the education and various ideologies started believing in the fact that teachers are made, not born. Rather, I must say the teachers are trained, or teachers should be trained. Rather, it would be proper if I say teachers should be trained if they should be trained from time to time, as teacher education is ever evolving and it is dynamic. Because the society is changing, the trends are changing, the students are changing, they need change. It's a law of nature. Change is a law of nature. So, when the society is changing, the education system too should change. When the education system changes, it demands a change in teacher education curriculum too. The teachers should too be updated, or they should be trained as an advanced teachers. So, they should not be we cannot train them traditionally. They need to be trained in advanced ways so that they can teach the advanced citizens, or advanced coming citizens, that are the students of a country. So, before I speak about NCFTE 2009, let me give a brief background about its origin and how this concept of NCFT was initiated. This concept of NCFT actually was initiated by NCTE. It was initiated by NCTE, which is called as National Council of Teacher Education. National Council of Teacher Education. This National Council for Teacher Education developed this NCFTE 2009. How they developed? On the basis of NCF. On the basis of NCF 2005 and RTE 2009. NCF 2005 and RTE 2009. And what is this NCF? National Curriculum Framework, and this was prepared for the students. NCF was prepared for the students, National Curriculum Framework, and RTE means Right of Children for Free and Compulsory Education 2009. So they made this as the basis for making for framing the curriculum of teacher education, that is NCFTE 2009. So what was the aim behind it for framing National Curriculum Framework of Teacher Education? What was the aim behind it? Let us talk about it. First aims of NCFT. The first aim is to improve teacher education qualitatively and quantitatively. Improve teacher education qualitatively and quantitatively. Because these are the teachers, these trained teachers will be educating the teachers. They will be going and teaching the schools and various colleges. And the second aim will be NCFT covers the curriculum which is made in NCFTE, covers the pre-service, in-service and the teacher educators too. It covers pre-service, that means It trains pre-service, in-service and teacher educators too. And thirdly, NCFT is actually an attempt to improve teacher educators in India or teacher education in India, and they prepare the teacher as ideal, innovative, human and affectionate teachers. They prepare the teachers. They prepare what kind of teachers? Ideal, innovative, human and affectionate teachers. They prepare ideal, innovative, human and affectionate kind of teachers. Now before I explain in detail about NCFT 2009, let me briefly tell you about NCF 2005, which was framed for students and not for teachers. Actually this NCF was framed for students, means they wanted to revise the curriculum for the fresh generation of the students, that is what kind of curriculum should be framed for the students and how to link or relate their knowledge to the external world, and how to get rid of their rote learning, because this rote learning was a very poor habit of learning, because that was a traditional kind of learning which was very difficult to get rid of. So they wanted to get rid of that through advanced learning, through making the concepts much more clear and making them in an understanding level, so that this rote learning can be easily removed. The understanding level of learning should be more is much better, so that should be introduced. Then how to bring all-round development or constructive development in the students, and how to give practical knowledge than giving importance to bookish knowledge. So these things were considered while framing the curriculum for the students, that is NCF 2005. But now let's talk about NCFTE 2009. I just gave a brief introduction about NCF 2005 only because I just wanted to make you understand that, see, when you are making or framing or revising a curriculum for the students, it is very much essential that teachers' curriculum should be also revised. There should be revision of curriculum for the teacher educators or the teacher trainees too, because these advanced trainees or the teachers whom we are going to make them advanced have to deal with advanced students. They cannot be the same traditional teachers. They need to be innovative and they need to be very much advanced, which will fit into or which will fit for these advanced students too. So let us talk about NCFT. So here again NCFT 2009 was actually this NCT appointed or developed a committee, and this committee comprised of a chairman and 7 other members. And who was the chairman? Chairman was Professor C.L. Anand. So here again let us talk about the committee. This committee who made this NCTE, that is National Council for Teacher Education. This National Council for Teacher Education, they developed a committee. Okay. And this committee comprised of chairman. And who was the chairman? Professor C.L. Anand. Plus 7 other members. And this committee used to call the meetings, they are called as an expert committee, and they used to call the meetings and they discussed on what kind of curriculum to be framed for teacher education. And they used to call the meetings by calling vice chancellors. Who are the people who comprise this? That is vice chancellor, vice chancellors of different universities, then dean of educational institutions, then secretary of SCRT, dean of educational institutions, then secretary of SCERT, and then again head of diet, then many experienced teachers too were invited, or they were also included to discuss on what kind of curriculum to be framed for teacher education. Many experienced teachers were also part of this. So they made a meeting, they discussed on how to frame a curriculum for teacher education. Like they discussed on curriculum should be framed so as to attain our educational objectives in this changing trends of society. That is to bring quality, improvement, introduce technology to education, all these things. So lot of matters need to be discussed. The quality, first is quality, to bring quality in the teachers, to bring improvement and introduce technology to education. All these things were included while they were discussing the curriculum, and they should learn to how to operate smart board or smart classes, how to operate computers, that is how to become techno friendly. This way they will be able to educate the students who are very techno friendly and help in techno learning in their advanced learning trends in education. Now let us talk about the objectives of NCFTE. Let us talk about the objectives of NCFTE. Now this objectives, their first objective was to produce good teachers. Now what kind of good teachers they meant in this changing trends or the advanced society? Good teachers here means that is trainee teachers should be trained to become ideal. Means they should be so much trained that students should idolize them. So they become ideal and must have knowledge of society and the subject. It's not that they should have this knowledge about only about this society or only about the subject only. They should have the knowledge of both, that is society as well as subject, and they must have understanding of psychology of their students. They should try to understand their psychology of the students. Means that is very much essential, because students in a class are different. There are a lot of individual differences you will find in a class. So they should be able to understand the psychology of the students while teaching. Then again develop skills of guidance and counseling. They will be able to guide and counsel the students which they require. From time to time, students have many problems because of the complex society they are facing at the same time, or the difficult competitions they are facing, or the problems they are facing in their social society. So they need counseling and guidance from time to time from the teachers. So we should prepare the teachers accordingly and develop communication skill and use modern information technology. They should be also good at modern information technology and enable them to foster, and the teachers should be so where they will be able to, or enable the students to foster creative thinking among these students. The creative thinking, these teachers should be so much updated that they should be able to foster creative thinking among the students and understand the process of socialization. All these factors together make a good teacher, to produce good teachers. These are the things they should consider while framing the curriculum of teacher education. Then second objective is they decided the tenure of the course for diploma and bachelor of education. They decided the tenure for course for B.Ed and D.Ed or DLEd, whatever you say. So B.Ed was Bachelor of Education. Initially it was of 1 year course, later on it changed to 2 year courses, and the eligibility was graduation. And the diploma courses, that is DLEd or D.Ed, these courses were of 2 years only. Now also it is of 2 years, and eligibility was initially 12th class, and now they later shifted to graduation. So these were the tenure decided in this while making the curriculum framework. Then next is the content, that is content. Third is the content. What kind of, that is how to present the curriculum, or how to prepare the content, or what should be there in the content, or in which way the content should be prepared, like whether it should be in which way they should be arranged or systematized. For that they included foundation of education. Content, for that they included foundation of education. Foundation of education. Then they included pedagogy theories. Then they included practicum and internship. So this was the content they decided. That is, foundation of education means it should be philosophical or psychological base, and knowledge of society should be there. They should know about the objectives of education, and it should be child centered. Then pedagogy theory, here they wanted the teachers to know how to deal with their specific subjects, for example English, Hindi, maths, or science or social science, how to deal these specific subjects, how to teach them, how to teach, and how, when and where to use the teaching aids for those, and which methods to opt, whether to opt lecture method, or whether to opt learning by doing, or whether to opt discussion method or demonstration method. They should be very well versed in all these methods of teaching. So these were taught in pedagogy of teaching. And then practicum and internship. In this practicum and internship, for how long? In this internship, for how long they have to go for internship, whether it for some days or for months, like that. And then there they learn to deal with the students when they go for the internship. At the same time, they come to learn about the activities of the school and develop skills of teaching too, because they go there and do the practice teaching. This way this was decided. Then content was decided. Then let us talk about the next objective, that is the fourth one. Teacher must have the knowledge of, that is, the fourth objective is, they must have the knowledge of psychological theories, methods, techniques, and must develop philosophical attitude too. That is, knowledge of psychological philosophy. They must develop philosophical attitude, must have psychological theories, knowledge of psychological theories, then methods and techniques also. Because all these things, if they have the knowledge of all these things, because if they have knowledge of psychological theories, they can help in dealing with the students psychologically, because that is very much essential. Students are different. You will find a lot of individual differences in the classes. So teacher need to know the students psychologically to deal those students psychologically. At the same time, they must know, or they must be well versed with various methods and techniques of teaching which will help in dealing the students or the subject matter or the topic according to the difficulty level of the topic, or according to the nature of the topic or the subject. They have to select the different topics or methods. So they must have the knowledge of these methods and techniques and the philosophical attitude, so that they must have a philosophical attitude to guide these students properly. So this way. And the fifth objective is guidance. Fifth objective is guidance. Now, guidance, teacher must develop the skill of guiding the students for overall development of the students. From time to time, students will come up with various problems, and the teachers must have the ability, or must develop the skill of guiding them and counseling them. That is very much essential in this present scenario of education. Now, let us talk about structure of NCFT 2009. Now, let us talk about structure of NCFT 2009. This consisted of NCFT 2009. This consisted of 6 chapters. 6 chapters. Now let us discuss about these 6 chapters one by one. The first chapter was about content, concern and vision of teacher education. First chapter was content, concern and vision of education. The first chapter discussed, first chapter which mentioned in the curriculum framework was about the content, concern and vision of education, of teacher education. That is, change the inactive education to active education. Means inactive education here means a traditional educational style should be changed to active education. That is a modern education style that should be made much more advanced, much more practical. It should not be theoretical only, much more practical and much more meaningful. So the content, concern and vision of teacher education was change the inactive teacher education to active education. That is, inactive to active teacher education. That was the first. Then B part, that is second, is turn the trainees to innovative and creative teachers. That is, train these trainees to innovative and creative. Innovative, why? The trainees should be innovative, and that is why they practicals and internships, and at the same time so many craft works and so many curricular activities are given in yoga or whatever. Their PPT presentations and how to make the charts and all these activities are given. Even the curricular activities are included to make them much more. Even the computer educations are given in B.Ed, that is for training these teachers, because they can be innovative and much more. They will be trained to become more innovative and creative, because these trained creative and innovative teachers are going to pass on their creativity to the students also. They are going to guide them accordingly, because if they are untrained, they won't be able to guide those students, or they are not going to pass on the creativity or innovative ideas to the students. So that is must. The next is prepare teachers for inclusive education, that is overall development. That is inclusive education. Prepare teachers for inclusive education means the teacher trainees curriculum should be such that they should be able to handle the students for overall development. They would be able to develop the students in all aspects of the education, that is physical, emotionally, mentally. So the curriculum should be so much prepared that the teacher should have that efficiency or ability to develop the students in an overall development, constructive way. So inclusive education is also included. So next structure or this next chapter is curriculum areas of initial education. That is second chapter is discussed about the curriculum areas of initial teacher education. They divided these curricular areas into 3 stages, as I told you before. That is 3 stages were foundation of education. I told you that is in that psychological and sociological aspects were included, and knowledge of society and objectives of education they must know. At the same time, that should be child centered. So these were the aspects included in the foundation of education. The second stage was, as I told you before, pedagogic theories, that is how to teach, when to use their teaching aids, where to use their teaching aids, and how to use the methods, or when to use the various methods and techniques according to the different topics or subjects. So these were included in the pedagogy of theories. And the third one is internship or practicum. And here also I have told you again, practical knowledge to deal with the students should be given, and skills of teaching can be developed. Skills of teaching means how to, that is micro teaching here is, I mean to specify here is the micro teaching skills. And when they go for internship also, there also they come to learn to deal with the students. There they also develop the practical knowledge of activities happening in those classes. And then the next is the third chapter was redesign scheme of current teacher education program. That is redesign scheme for current teacher education program. That is diploma in education. First was diploma in education, that is D.Ed and D.L.Ed. Then that was for primary education, and eligibility was for 12th class. Later on it changed to graduation level. And then B.Ed that is for secondary education teachers. Then admission was through entrance. Now it is changed to entrance, and it is again 2-year courses. Eligibility was graduation. Then the third one is integrated teachers program. Integrated, that is, I told you, redesigned scheme was, first was for diploma courses, then second was for B.Ed, Bachelor of Education, then the third was integrated teacher programs were there, where it started 3+1, that is graduation of 3 years and 1 year of B.Ed, and that was run by NCTE. That was also under NCTE. That was a new introduction, and in many areas it has started. Then the fourth one is in-service teacher training. In-service teacher training. Here, in-service teacher training means in-service teacher training. What does that mean? In-service teacher training means the teachers should be updated with through workshops or seminars like that. So that was also very much essential. Now we come to the fourth chapter, that is evaluating the developing teachers. Evaluating the developing teachers means evaluating the developing teachers. That is trainee teachers. Developing teachers here means trainee teachers. Evaluating the developing teachers means here the teachers should be given the proper skills or to evaluate the things psychologically. They should develop psychologically to evaluate the students. Means examination should not be given much importance, but evaluation should be given importance. So they should develop the skill of evaluating the students psychologically. The next is, fifth one is in-service education. Fifth chapter is in-service education and continuous professional development. In-service and continuous professional development. In-service education and continuous professional development means they have to give ICT training. This trainee teacher should be given ICT training, computer and how to handle the smart board classes, or then micro teaching training too should be included. This is how in-service education or continuous professional development can happen there. Then the sixth chapter, the last chapter, is preparing teacher educators. That is preparing teacher educators. How? Preparing teacher educators. The teacher educators who are training these teacher trainees should update themselves. That is, the eligibility, they wanted their eligibility should be increased, the qualifications of these teacher educators should be increased, and always keep updating their professional qualifications. Like initially their eligibility was only post graduation, later on it was changed to PhD or NET and all those things. So must possess, and at the same time they also must possess practical and theoretical knowledge. That is philosophical and psychological knowledge too they must have. This way I covered the topic NCFTE 2009, that is National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education 2009, and I hope all the students understood this topic well. Thank you, students.